Welcome to Mayor's Minute on Castanet.net. I'm Dustin Godfrey and, as usual, joined by Mayor Andrew Jacobite. Welcome.
Thank you.
Today I'd like to chat a little bit about property crime. It seems to be a bit of a popular issue, or unpopular, if depending on how you look at it. It just seems like, you know, I mean, it may have been an issue before, but it does kind of seem like there's an increasing amount of property crime. Bum Wrap just down the street was broken into the other week. Just the other day, Bike Barn was also broken into. Have you spoken to the incoming detachment commander for the Penticton RCMP on this issue?
Yeah, I had a very good, candid conversation with Superintendent Ted Jagger, who officially starts technically end of April. He's going to be here in April and start working half and half between here and Mission until he settles in formally. And certainly the fear of crime, both real and perceived, is an issue. We've had, you know, and it's not just in Penticton, but up and down the valley, an increase in property crimes. And you're certainly seeing a lot of posts and rants on social media about what's happening or not happening. And actually, even a member of council, Councillor Matt Picton, had his bike stolen. Fortunately, was recovered. Took a week or two before they caught up with them. And I think that we need to emphasize to a lot of people that they need to report their crimes. So if they see something suspicious, they need to call in. Obviously, if they have had their home, residence or business broken into, they need to report that, just so they have a crime analyst, the RCMP have a crime analyst, and they spot where all the trends are. It helps them for justifying call for different resources or different programs or models, you know, like the BAIT program is an example. And without having sort of that statistical background for them to justify expansive resources or programming, it makes it a bit more difficult. And then, of course, they may not catch the culprit that same day, but quite often they do catch their man and then have a difficult time identifying the property that's been stolen. So a lot of people sort of get frustrated and don't report, or it's below their insurance premium, and so they sort of don't bother with it. It's very important that they do phone that into the RCMP and at least start a file or start give them the ability to track that.
The other thing that this kind of brings me to is back to the budget. The Penticton RCMP came to the city council asking to be able to increase the number of members to up to 48 from 45, but council instead voted to actually drop that down to 44. I mean, I have to ask why that decision was made when there is kind of this issue of property crime.
Okay, so just to be clear, their numbers is 45. Their E division made a presentation to us that in, I think, 2018 or 2019, they want to go up from 45 to 47, and then 2 years later, potentially adding another 2 officers. So that's a discussion for a different day. We've always been a detachment of 45 members, and you know, the 8 years I've been on council, they've never stayed at 45 for the whole year. They've always been between 42 and 44 members, with members leaving for transfers, sick leave, maternity leave, medical or those sorts of things, training. And so we kind of felt, you know, why are we budgeting and paying at almost $160,000 per officer for 45 when they are never at 45? And so this is just a simple math with our budget to only fund 44 because they never are at 45. And if they do get at 45, we'll figure that out. But I think instead of going to the taxpayer and saying you need to shell another $160,000 for a position that never gets to be filled anyways, even though there's approval for that, that was sort of the mindset behind that.
But if their maximum is dropped down to 44, then if there's always, say, 3 people kind of in transit between here and, you know, maybe moving up to bigger and better things or to another city somewhere else, then wouldn't that kind of drop the average from, say, 42 usually around to 41 or 40?
Well, again, their program is for 45 members, and that is what you know, they try to staff towards, and they never can. Like, I should preface with the new superintendent coming on board and reevaluating the existing programs and finding some innovations, or looking at the option or justification to change some of the program, maybe potentially even add members, and coming back to council. I think we would certainly be responsive to considering that. But I want to give the new superintendent the opportunity to come in here, takes charge. We're really excited with him coming on board. I think he has some great insights on trying to get the upper hand on the property crime that's going here, and reallocation of resources to get the upper hand. And I'd like to have him the opportunity to sort through and see what changes need to be made. And certainly as a council and as a city, we're very receptive, and we'll be very open to providing whatever resources we need, and finding that balance, because they're expensive. And I think I look forward to him coming on board and building rapport and relationships within the city, not just between the RCMP and the city, the courts, but with a lot of our stakeholders and with the community. And I think that's been missing, or could have been done better. And I think that's one of the skill sets that Superintendent DeJager brings to this detachment, and we're looking forward to that.
Sure, thank you. That's been another week on Mayor's Minute on castanet.net. If you've got a topic that you'd like to put to the mayor, you can send it to me at godfrey@castanet.net. If you have thoughts on this topic, you can send it to letters@castanet.net. Thanks again to Mayor Andrew Jacobite, and for Castanet News, I'm Dustin Godfrey.